For all things great iron and hard top, it's Kevlu and Season's a Sandbox.
What's going on? Since the Sandbox fans, we're back with some more football content. I took all the intros this week. Got a lot of, lost time to make up for. We're back. We're talking about NFL teams that absolutely need to have a good offseason this offseason.
That's right. And if you need, a successful ointment to really, make sure that you're all good after a workout, after the gym, guys, Myoderm CBD ointment, sports relief, it really works wonders. I want you guys to go and check it out. My Bada Bing flag football team just checked it out last Friday. Shout out to those guys doing great things on the flag football field. But this really makes a difference. It was fast acting, happened almost immediately. You could feel the relief, and it's fragrance free, so you don't have to worry about smelling that icy hot or Bengay when you're putting this product on. You can just put it there and go about your day. Make sure you go and check out Myoderm, the CBD company based out of Colorado. Guys, successful offseason. This is the Census Sandbox Classic, and we're back and we're bringing it to you guys. Before we go into the episode, go and check out the Meet the People series, our free agency predictions, our positional rundowns, our draft coverage coming real soon, guys. We've been grinding out here. Make sure you're staying tuned with all the content. And of course, 5 stars, guys. 5 stars. Kev, get us started with the team that you absolutely think needs to have the most successful offseason.
The New York Jets.
Oh!
Just going to come out and say it. The New York Jets
Shut up, Vin.
need to have a good offseason. It is what it is. You drafted Zach Wilson. Don't know if it's going to be your franchise quarterback or not. I'm assuming right now you're thinking it's going to be. Now you got to go out and build off that. You guys haven't had a guy who's your franchise quarterback in quite some time, and that's a step in the right direction. Now you got to go build on it. I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Probably not going to win the division anytime soon. But you got to start building towards the future, because guess what? Bill Belichick isn't going to be around forever. Josh Allen isn't going to be around forever. And I'm not going to sit here and say the Bills are going to be the next Kansas City Chiefs or the next New England Patriots. Go on to win, 6, 8, 10 division titles in a row. Get yourself in the mix, New York. It's been too long. You've been rebuilding since about 1997. It's time to get something going here.
Maybe longer than that, Kev.
Yeah.
You might be giving them some grace, throwing it back to Broadway Joe. Shout out to Vin. Vin, I know you're watching this at home. He's been a diehard New York
It's just
Jets
like,
fan.
dude, it's one thing if you're a team that's rebuilding and you don't get the number 1 pick every year, but when you're drafting the top 3 every year, you have to have a good offseason eventually, or else your whole organization's in question.
Nah, you definitely do, and I'm honestly saying the same thing for my New York Giants. That's not a team that I think needs to have a successful offseason. We're going to be doing, a lot of catch-up this year, trying to fix that salary cap. We are going to be making sure that we're developing, our first-round picks. Kadarius Toney Bailey got some action last year. Really want to make sure he's someone that, we have as part of our team and part of our future going forward. But also, the questions with Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, I mean, these are all from draft classes of the past. So now it's about making it right. But enough about the New York Giants. They're not going to have a successful season next year. If they do, God bless me. But there are a couple teams that I think that absolutely need to have a successful offseason. I'm going to come in with one. And this is a team that was a game away from the playoffs last year, the Los Angeles Chargers. They were a game away, and they blew it to the Raiders. Guys, the Raiders weren't supposed to have the year that they had last year. That was all single-handedly because of Derek Carr, in my opinion, honestly. And, I just think that the Chargers are in a scenario where the Kansas City Chiefs started last year on their toes, right? They didn't have the start that they wanted or were expecting, and the Broncos aren't strong, and the Raiders are average. So, when you're a little bit above average and you have the talent on your team, you have to do it, like now. They don't really have the time to wait. While Justin Herbert's on that rookie contract, you've got to make sure that, you're getting all the pieces to succeed. You've got Austin Eckler. Mike Williams is a free agent, but I'm sure that he's going to be retained. Keenan Allen, a big name guy that they've been having for a long time. And the defensive guys aren't getting any younger. Casey Hayward, Derwin James, Joey Bosa, those are all a bunch of big names. And we saw in the same draft class that Justin Herbert was in. Joe Burrow took his team to the Super Bowl last year. Chargers, what's your excuse? You need to have a successful offseason. Get that offensive line and defense right. Need to have 11-plus wins this year. Need to.
Yeah, another team. And, I think this is a team that a lot of people are starting to give up on, but I think there's still a lot there. And it's the Cleveland Browns. I mean, the Cleveland Browns need a good offseason. You got arguably the best run game in the league. Pretty good defense. Pretty good O-line. I think they need to figure out the quarterback position, and by that I mean obviously Baker Mayfield's there, but they really got to look in the mirror and say, is this guy the guy, or do we got to start seriously go shopping around? Because I think they're playing this whole playing it cool, like Baker Mayfield's gonna figure it out. I don't think he's gonna figure it out. I really don't. I mean, is he the worst quarterback in the NFL? No. Is he anywhere near a top 10 or 15 quarterback in the NFL? Probably not. So,
do you think they feel like that because of what they came from?
I honestly, I think it's just superstar syndrome. I mean, Baker Mayfield was huge coming out of college, and they were like, you know what, that's the guy.
He's the star.
We actually get a chance of getting him. That's our guy.
Yeah.
Just, it didn't work out. And now they have to sit there. You just lost OBJ. He just went and got himself a Super Bowl. Jarvis Landry.
Probably on his way out.
Lord knows how much of this he's going to tolerate. So, you're really going to have a good offseason, because the fact that you were so bad for so long and have now strung together 3 or 4 pretty competitive seasons, if you take that step back to being, a bottom barrel team again, you're going to lose your fan base. Absolutely. It is what it is. You got to have a good offseason.
Absolutely. Guys, another team that needs to have a successful offseason. The Baltimore Ravens. This is the last year on Lamar Jackson's rookie contract deal. We know how important it is, whether you're the Patrick Mahomes of the world, the Josh Allens of the world. When you're on that rookie contract, that's when you have the most potential to build around you. Surround yourself with stars, whether that's in free agency, whether that's in the draft. And the Ravens are running out of time. Look, the Bengals just went from last to first within an offseason, right? The Steelers can probably go and do the same thing. The Browns are competitive. The Baltimore Ravens need to get that defense underway, need to make sure that they have stars in. That development from Mark Andrews, that development from Marquise Brown, that all needs to continue. And you running backs, you need to get healthy. Lamar Jackson couldn't do it all on his own last year, and we saw that's why he got banged up. Baltimore Ravens, you definitely need a successful offseason.
All right. Shout out my guy Holman, the Chicago Bears.
Woo!
Chicago Bears need to do it. Aaron Rodgers is probably out of Green Bay. Vikings are good, but very beatable. And you got the Detroit Lions. It's like, you go out and have a successful offseason, there's a chance you win your division this year. So go do it. It's that simple. I mean,
be better, right, Kev?
Just be better. It is what it is. They're like 2 pieces away from being a 12-win football team. I mean, if they can go out and get a big wide receiver, and by big I mean, big name wide receiver, and figure out the quarterback position, I like Justin Fields personally. I think they should ride out the Justin Fields thing. Kid, he was rookie last year. Let him play 1-2 seasons in the NFL, then make those predictions. But I like Justin Fields. Think he's probably the second most talented quarterback to come out this year, behind Mac Jones. Yeah, I said Mac Jones passed me. But it is what it is. I mean, listen, like any rookie quarterback besides Mac Jones, you need weapons, And even if he played the full season, having just Allen Robinson, who's a borderline pretzel these days, and the banged-up Montgomery, it wasn't a formula for success. So go out, get the guy some weapons, see what he can do. At least make it competitive. Make the wild card. I mean, if you're going to sit here and tell me you can't make a wild card in a division that's not even going to have Aaron Rodgers in it anymore, then I don't know what to tell you.
We're going to give you one more team that needs a successful offseason. I'm staying in the same division. The Pittsburgh Steelers need to have a successful offseason. They've been building and surrounding the pieces to, really make sure that defense was going to stand out. And now it is, right? Cam Hayward's playing great on the defensive line. TJ Watt's arguably the best defender in football. They got Devin Bush at the linebacker position. Minka Fitzpatrick in the secondary. I mean, I just named 4 or 5 guys that are arguably the best at their respective position. The offense, you guys got to figure it out. Look, Deontay Johnson, you're great. Najee Harris, you're great. That offensive line wasn't up to par last year. And look, I know that, it definitely takes some time to replace pieces that were, standstills for your franchise for quite some time. And, it's going to take time to figure out who's going to replace Big Ben. But in the meantime, you have to make sure that you can have somebody that can get the job done. You're talking about a team that, this team could have arguably taken out, the Bengals. They could have arguably taken out the Titans in the playoffs this year. The Pittsburgh Steelers are that good, and they have a great coach. They have a great system, the way that they draft their guys, always retaining and giving the people that they drafted an opportunity to succeed. Now, look, running out of time, running out of options. Pittsburgh Steelers, you need to have a successful offseason.
And this one's going to be a shock to some people. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to have a good offseason.
Ooh.
You just lost Tom Brady.
How do you recover?
Probably going to lose Leonard Fournette, And I'm thinking more from an organization standpoint, right? It's like, if you come out this year, you don't really make any moves. I don't even know who their backup quarterback is.
It's Kyle Trask from Florida.
Kyle Trask, whoever that is. So if you go and like seriously though, like if you don't go make any moves and you end up, organizationally how you were pre-Tom Brady, again, people are going to start to question, all right, was this the organization's doing it, or are we just winning all those games because of Tom Brady? You know what I mean? Does our team actually know what they're doing, or did Tom Brady have them in line? So I'm not saying you have to go out and win a Super Bowl or even make the playoffs, but you're going to sign pieces. You put all your eggs in the Brady basket knowing he was gone in 2-3 years max. So now what are you going to do? What are you going to do to keep your fans engaged? What are you going to do to show that it wasn't just Tom Brady, behind those football games? Like, I'm thinking Bill Belichick, right? People were saying the same thing about Bill Belichick. How good's Bill Belichick going to be without Brady? He proved it. So now the Bucs have to prove it. It's like, you're really going to sit here and tell me Trask is going to be your next starting quarterback? Like, nah, if I'm a Bucs fan, like, I'm just not having it. So have to go have a good offseason. Gotta build a roster that's, going to get at least 9-10 wins. Again, like I said, I'm not saying you're going to win a Super Bowl, but you got to stay playing above 500 football during that rebuild, or else your fans are just going to be like, oh, here we go again.
I feel that, because, how do you convince, a Vita Vea or a Levante David to, stay committed and stay loyal to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I get it. You want a Super Bowl, and that happened quickly. I definitely didn't think it was going to just take 1 year. I thought, maybe if Brady stood there 3 years, they might have maybe, won one and 3. And I don't think, the rumors of Tom Brady necessarily not being done with football are untrue. We saw Bruce Arians and the GM, Jason Light, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers say, Tom Brady's always welcome. If we were ever to trade him this year, it's going to take 5 first-round picks. I don't think, it's likely that Tom Brady, plays this year, but I definitely think that it was a weird way that it all went about, the separation there. But I absolutely think that was a great one. And if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and you have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, you go and get a running back and you have that defense, you're a Deshaun Watson away from a great team once again, right? That's another name that's been hidden this offseason, but Deshaun Watson is still a top 3 talent, if not the best talent at the quarterback position. Kev, I know you'd say Josh Allen.
Listen,
but
I'll entertain the Deshaun Watson argument. I'm not entertaining the Pat Mahomes argument. We already went through that.
But yeah, it is really interesting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But guys, make sure you go and check out Myoderm. Get your sports relief and your CBD ointment. Make sure you're feeling good after the gym, after a workout, after a run, after some sports, maybe even a swim. Kev can't swim, but he would definitely benefit from the Myoderm ointment, right?
Yeah.
And, Kev plays that pickup ball, so we might have to see, you
summer ball after a nice 9-inning shutout, throw some on the rotator cuff,
Absolutely. But, guys, the deal. Catch up and stay tuned with the rest of our content. NFL Draft is coming real soon. Go and check out our Meet the People series, Joe Ruggiero, Jokesy, Steph Lewis, the positional rankings, and so much more. Stay tuned with Since the Sandbox, and, of course, 5 stars. Peace out, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
For all things great iron and hard top, it's Kev Lewis, Since the Sandbox.